To live in a Jewish state. What a blessing that would be. And how easy. All we'd have to do is walk in the footsteps of Abraham and Moses and follow in the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not worship material objects. Thou shalt not kill nor covet, meaning don't yearn for, and certainly don't steal any of thy neighbor's possessions, land, nor blockade their freedom. Take care of the poor and oppressed over all else. Or we could live in a Christian state, and what a blessing and how easy that would be. All we'd have to do was follow Jesus, the modern name of a Jewish man called Yeshua, who reminded us to also follow Abraham and Moses in the 10 Commandments, to never worship material objects nor idols, to not steal nor kill, to love unconditionally, to judge no one, and care most of all for the poor and oppressed, and to prioritize looking at our own faults and devote ourselves to their correction and improvement, to never fall victim to feelings of arrogance or somehow being superior to somebody else. Or we could live in a Muslim state. What a blessing and how easy that would be. All we'd have to do is follow Muhammad, peace be upon him, who told us to follow Abraham, and Jesus, who was called Yeshua, and Moses, and follow the 10 Commandments, to never worship material objects nor idols, to not kill nor steal, and to take care of the poor and oppressed over all else, to submit to the highest unfathomable good with acceptance and patience and courage. We could also live in all 3 states at once, because it turns out they are highly compatible, and it sounds like heaven on earth, which I think was the idea. This guidance that we now call Islam and Christianity and Judaism came from 3 people after each fasted for a month to reduce the influence of this material world, to leave themselves empty, to receive something from that highest good. And they did. They each had a revelation that human beings should never associate anything physical or that springs from desire and self-interest with an unfathomable, all-encompassing oneness God, Allah, Yahweh, which all mean the same thing, regardless of religion or tradition. A word that means that which is everything, that which precedes and surrounds and exists inside and outside all that exists. And each of these 3 people who had this revelation were from the same family and share the same ancestor, who are all our ancestors, and who shared this same message, that this world is temporary. It's a test of our willingness to be a good and humble person who uses our earthly desires as fuel, but not direction. And each one of them, in succession, said that the world was not listening to their sibling who had just come prior. It turns out that the beliefs of all the children of humanity are also completely compatible with Gautama Buddha, who reminded humankind that our attachment to material things leads to suffering. And our entire human family is also compatible with the beliefs of Hinduism, which advise that humankind must be aware of our karma, which could be interpreted simply as that which we hate, we become, and that which we love loves us back. All the wisdoms of the world, practiced as prescribed, create harmony among all the families of the earth. And it should go without saying that there's nothing that could ever justify killing or kidnapping a child, or civilians, or evicting a family from their home, or bombing a building, or seizing land someone is living on already, or voting for leaders or tax dollars to finance these kinds of crimes, or the weapons that are used to commit them, or contribute in any way to the suffering of anyone because of where their family was born or what their religion is, when there's clearly no difference between any of our religions or our families. Let us celebrate and respect our differences, especially and most of all those that we do not understand or are none of our business. The nature of this universe and that which has true authority over it and our little world is certainly not perceived in the judgments of any of us, its tiny, near clueless, temporary guests. A wise elder once said that we do not have the divine wisdom to know what came before or what comes after, nor what is within nor outside the object of our judgments. May we focus on the job we have in front of us. which, among other things at this time, is to always speak and act and vote against violence and against all those sins so clearly described by our mothers and fathers. May we devote ourselves to peace, outwardly and inwardly, for as long as there is war in ourselves, there will be war in the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. That's my bad Arabic, which means peace be upon you. And may that unfathomable oneness, which is everything and encompasses everything, precedes, postdates, and surrounds, and is within us all, bless you in every aspect of your life.